The Distributed Energy Conference primarily attracts a lot of different types of people, mostly from the power industry, either in design phase or in the power plant phase, operations phase.
We've got experts from all areas, equipment manufacturers, software control vendors like ourselves, different consulting companies.
Marginal emissions really tie to the question of which power plant is going to get turned up or turned down in response to a change in load.
We're talking about tens of millions of dollars, so a couple percentage points is a meaningful value proposition for the parties involved.
There's a lot of managed controls that need to go into planning a distributed energy resource network. So this conference really brings it all together.
90 to 95% of all the coal-fired generation that existed in 2008 will be gone in 2035. How does natural gas actually play a role, and how does it compete with distributed energy? I think that's an issue.
The whole power sector is in transition, and not just a little bit of transition, it's really shifting, and I would say precipitously shifting for the power sector in the United States, in America, but around the world as well.
Resilience is not a deterministic concept. It's a stochastic concept.
The direction of the generation market has really gone toward a distributed model versus centralized model, and really renewable and the renewable portfolio standard is changing the dynamics of the grid, and it's really all about decarbonizing the grid.
You have all these utilities announcing targets for lowering their emissions. Distributed energy resources are going to play a part in our solving that 2030 to 2050 innovation gap.
When you think about the question of how can public companies like Ford convince shareholders that sustainability and clean energy is important, I think all we have to do is look at the public conversation around that and the statistics that companies that aren't embracing that idea are not as successful as companies that do.
You get to see some colleagues that you've spoken with over the phone at length, and finally get to put the face to the name. I get a lot of value out of that personally, because then when you're putting together programs and projects and stuff, you have a little bit more of a personal touch, which always goes a long way.
This new world of energy that we now live in really requires a multidisciplinary approach to problem solving. Energy storage is becoming a key component of how we are going to do this.
The end customers are looking for resiliency and reliability in their power supply, and really that's what distributed generation is all about.
All of the cutting edge issues are being discussed here. This is the place to come.
Today, all of us here at the Distributed Energy Conference not only see the future, we are leading it. We can lead the way to ensure reliable energy supply, and I'm proud to be a part of this terrific group of distributed energy professionals here today who are not waiting around to see what will happen in the future. We are creating it.